Hi there and welcome back to the History of Fleetwood Mac. I'm Anita. Today we're going to get into another small pile of my stuff. If you saw my last video, I had mentioned, and I'll happily show it again, that I just do not have my act together and cannot seem to get my 70s books in the order that I would like them to be in, to keep going in order. So we're just going to, do what we can, and kind of go through these things. And, we'll come back to the 75, 77 at some point. After these little piles, I'll just continue on through Tusk and Mirage, albums that are way more put together than my 70s. And, just know that you have the 70s to come back and look forward to, because I'll be working on this for probably another 20 years, as it's already been 97, 2007, 17, 20 some odd years already. So in the past, I had shown some, what was it? Day on the Green photos, and I'd come across more. I had shown you in my scrapbook some photos that I had. I had some originals and I had some negatives. And the ones that I have the negatives to, there's a lot of them were really small, kind of like the photos I'd shown in the last video from Japan, where I bought from the person. And these ones that I have here, we're kind of got the same situation going, but they're still worth seeing, because they're really great photos. And again, until I get all the pages done, I just thought you might enjoy seeing the rest of them, as you have seen some of them. A lot are like this, kind of like, again, the ones in Japan, kind of far away. But when you can see Stevie clearly working with tambourine, I mean, it's a keeper. Who would throw this away? You got to put this in the collection, right? I mean, it's another photo of Stevie. I don't lie. Any of you watching feel the same way as I do. That's why you're here. Kind of, again, another not so great shot of Stevie, but nice one of John there. Another one of John and Stevie. Now, some of these might look familiar because they're probably just like a frame or two off, and that's what happens when you get negatives. This is a little bit of a blurry one of Lindsay, but I like it because Lindsay and John Lindsay is belting it out, whatever it is. This is a nice little bit of a clearer one of Lindsay, though. It just painted my nails. I just noticed that looking in the monitor thing. Nice one of Stevie here. I miss having fake nails where your nail polish would last forever and ever. Now, whenever I do them myself, it's like a day or two at best it lasts. I don't know if that's something about your nails or getting old. Who the hell knows? Who cares? Just ranting. But it drives me nuts. It drives me freaking nuts when I see it. Another kind of a faraway one of Stevie here. But I like the whole stage set up and can kind of see more. Lindsay and Stevie here. Cute one of Stevie. This kind of reminds me of this one I had shown in one of the last videos I had here. I'd shown these two from Japan, these two. And this kind of reminds me of that same pose almost. Oh, come on in focus. Or maybe almost like this one too. Super cute when she's in full motion like that. This is one that I believe was cut out of the, I don't know, this one might be from a magazine. Because Lindsay's on the back here. I don't know if this is the same night. Everybody's wearing the same stuff. Not that it matters, but it just kind of looks different. but it could be. This also is out of a magazine. It definitely looks like Lindsay from that night. I don't know about Stevie though. Same here as Lindsay. And this nice big one of Lindsay here. Definitely same night. Then I had a random one that may or may not go. This is by Lee and Lesser Photographies. And it just says 77 on the back. But what I've seen of Mick in these photos, it just looks, I don't know. Not that they don't, again, wear the same thing consecutively or a few times, but just, I don't know, maybe not. But then this was again, kind of a stray. I think you had seen, I'd shown you from in the scrapbooks prior, not that you can piece together, but this is just another outtake of those ones that look, the background kind of looks to me like New Orleans. I don't know if that's where they're at, but this was another one I'd come across. Then funny story going with the photos. This is I don't know what they do with the ticket. Oh, this is from, so this is the poster. Everybody knows this poster, but I was going to tell you a funny story about this poster. But this says May 7th, 1977, Oakland Stadium. But I had this really cool ticket, which is an original ticket from the following day in Santa Barbara. I just love how you can see the penguin in the background. No shadow on it, sorry. No drugs, cans, bottles, knives, or dogs allowed. No overnight camping allowed. Gates open at 11. Probably not much has changed. But I just love this original, you know, it has kind of a gloss to the, I don't know if you can see in the print. Who's with me who misses their ticket stubs? Like, I will go, I think the last, wasn't the Gorge, but I think the last time I saw Stevie was in Ridgefield, which was in 2020, 2021 maybe. Anyway, and of course everything was digital, you know. But I like went up to the, you know, the ticket counter where you can get will call and stuff like that, and like implored and said like, I need the ticket, like, end of story. And if you kind of berate them just a little bit, but kindly, of course, be polite. You can get a ticket stub. I don't know if it's just a leftover, or they'll give you one that just says lawn, or they'll print one out. Like, if you have your seat, they will like physically print out a ticket. But yeah, I just remember being like, I need my ticket stub. Like, I'm not leaving here without a ticket stub. And I knew in my head, I was just like, you're kind of like calling their bluff. Your chances are you won't get one. But lo and behold, I got one. I was just so pleased with myself. But anyway, back to this poster. It's just funny to me because I still have this poster. It's one of my favorite posters. And I think it goes with all those pictures I had shown, which is why I have it in this pile. But if I haven't told you the story already, my ex-husband and I, we're very, very close, but he is from Beirut, Lebanon. And he had gone, when we were married about 6 or 7 years, and he went back home for the first time after being in the country since 1988. We got married in 92, I want to say. And so, you know, we're newly married. He knows I'm a fanatic, you know, and I was just really, he kept me on a really nice leash as far as like, you know, what I spent on Stevie stuff. And definitely it was after we weren't married anymore that I went balls out and have as much as I do. But I was kind of starting because I had my own job. We were making good money, so on and so forth. But he went back home to Lebanon. He's going to be gone for like a month. And he left me an allowance, if you will, like all the money to pay the bills, but then a certain amount to go out and do stuff or buy food or whatever. And there was like a antique festival or something like that. They had come to town in the Bay Area, but they always had like a music segment. Usually like music vendors were involved. Like there are places you could buy bootleg VHS and CDs and stuff like that. But I went to this place this time, and lo and behold, they had a whole room. It was its own music section. So all the antiques were in one building, but then you went out to this other room, and it was all music vendors, record dealers, the whole thing. And if you just have seen my head explode. And I walked in there, and like literally right inside the door, like straight across, was this poster, and I'd always wanted it. And I beelined for that poster. And I think at the time it was like $50 or something like that. But this was probably in like 1995, 96, which is kind of expensive at the time. I went straight for that poster, and all the money I had been left, for like food and no, gone. He wasn't gone. He hadn't left the country. He hadn't been out of town. His flight was probably not even in Beirut yet. And I had spent all the money, including buying this poster. And to this day, it's just so funny because that's how I am. I'm an irresponsible, now 50-something-year-old, but at the time I was, 20-something. But this is a picture of it in my old apartment, but I still have the poster upstairs. But just every time I look at it, I just will never forget being so excited and so happy to finally have the poster. But the fact that, for the rest of the time he was gone, I was eating like mac and cheese because I spent all the grocery money on getting a poster. Maybe you don't find it as funny as I do, but it always brings me a smile to my face. And it kind of makes me reevaluate my fandom. And, I still did it. Not too long ago, I'm out of work and I bought something I shouldn't have, but I can't help myself. It's, it's a love, it's an addiction, but it's a love. It is really a cool item, and it's always a cool item, right? It's never a crappy item, but still just kind of funny. So that is my video for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I didn't bore you with my, but that's what I'm here for, is my dumb little stories. So thank you for being with me, and I hope you have a good night. And next up, we have some weird little, more ephemera before I pick back up with my regular scrapbooks. But these are just little pockets of stuff that I have. So thank you again for joining me, and have a great night. I'll see you later. Bye.